If you're seeing this, it's probably too late. I've struggled with this for a while. How should I start it? How should I say it? After the last couple of weeks, it's come to me like a storm. If you found this video, then trust that you are ready to hear and understand it. I struggled for a while between, am I crazy or just lost? Even if I could find the words to say, they'd fall on deaf ears, or their full meaning couldn't be sufficiently painted with my limited capabilities. What do you see? One of the reasons I used to think the answer could be my own sanity was a simple thought, one I considered benign until I started to expose this idea to those around me, to test its mettle, as is customary in the battleground of truth. That's when something soul-chilling happened. This thought, this feeling I had happened upon naturally, wasn't shared. What do you feel if you try to imagine being on the surface of the ocean? For most people, this question is indicative of their own mental state. Some say at peace because they imagine being at sea. Some say terrified, imagining drowning in a storm. The first time I did this, my mind placed me on top of an ocean of glass, as smooth and as calm as you can imagine, stretching as far as the eye could see. But something was off. In the distance, a storm was coming, fast enough that I had no chance of escaping it before it arrived. The mirror before me became a hailstorm of knives. I did something most people would think twice about. I dove. This is the part where I've lost almost everyone I've ever tried to explain this to. Whether my words fail or they lose interest in the raving monkey in front of them. When I dove under the surface, something interesting happened. Immediately, I felt calm. I had no urge to scramble back up to catch my breath. It was hard to tell how far down I was, but the surface was high above, just as still and just as beautiful. The bottom, still far beyond my sight. The abyss sat, just as still, just as beautiful. I had the thought that I had just made a grave psychological error, to gaze into the abyss. What do you feel if you try to imagine floating in the depths of the ocean? Panic? Fear? Anxiety? I was confused when I was met with calm, peace, as if the abyss was answering my own thought of self-damnation with a smile and a hug, as if the answer to one of the gravest warnings from the man who killed God was that it wasn't a warning, it was an obstacle. The abyss invited me to stay and think about what that could mean, and I realized I could. I could stay in this place forever at peace, thinking of all the possible answers to all the possible questions my mind could conceive. That was the obstacle. That was Nietzsche's warning. You can stay here. You can gaze into the abyss. It will gaze back. And the more you look, the more it will show you about yourself. For what is the void if not the perfect mirror? I do enjoy my black screens, but there has been a purpose to it. I want you to see your own face as I'm saying these things. Subconsciously register your own response and reaction to the words coming from your speakers. Even in the moment, bringing it up is to put your attention on yourself, to register the person you have assigned the identity of you in the blackness of the lightless screen. What's the emotion behind your eyes? Is it dismissive, assuming you know where this is going? Is it confusion, still stuck on the surface? If you've made it this far, I commend you. My rants are intense and sometimes seem nonsensical even to myself. To this day, I can go back to the deep and commune with its stillness, think through my own thoughts. I spent a considerable amount of time there recently due to real-world events, things I needed to isolate to see the truth, some personal, some that affected all of us. It was in one of these times that a certain question I asked changed things. I found myself propelled back to the surface, suddenly breathing on my own again. I went into panic as I realized the same storm was there, just as fast and just as fierce. I went to dive back down to safety when something stopped me. I felt a hint of the same peace, but here on the surface. That pause was enough to make another observation. The storm wasn't getting closer. Despite all the visual feedback and everything in me telling me to get away, I didn't need to run. The storm wasn't coming, no matter what my eyes told me. It took a while for me to adjust to this new mindscape. I still find it more comfortable to go back to the depths for peace, but it slowly became clear that this was a message. I had spent enough time thinking and gazing inward. Now I needed to see the world at large. I eventually saw the storm for what it was, an illusion, a chaotic form of the cosmos around me, with wills and beliefs fighting for what they considered to be good and evil. The thought occurred that for all the fear we have of it, the world is so much more dangerous than the abyss. The slogans and mantras we repeat, not realizing the hypocrisy we commit in their names. If you're hearing this, if you're seeing this, if I finally found enough will to impose myself upon the world, it's probably too late. I'm not an expert by any stretch. I don't even really consider myself that intelligent, honestly. There are legions with accolades to show their achievements and intellectual rigor. I'm not one of them. I'm not the most loving. I'm sometimes quick to anger, and I fall for the same vices and tricks my ancestors did. I'm simply a soul that has consumed far too much information, spent far too long observing. If I had to intellectually classify myself, what I'm doing at the moment, it might be called false depth or mockery. I would like to think none of those things. I am simply a person trying to explain ideas I've had. Trying to be a mirror. What do you see? Part of the problem, the cause of the tempest I ran from at first, is that we stopped seeing each other. We started seeing the illusions in our own heads and our perceived enemies instead of the people clinging to an idea that gave them hope. We started believing the propaganda of our own ideals and started fighting ideas instead of people. We stopped trying to find the common ground and started trying to root out the agents amongst ourselves. Part of what is starting to scare me is that I already hear the voices trying to claim I'm supporting one thing or another. I need to be absolutely clear. Do not assign me to your gang or your side. In this moment, I am advocating for nothing but us. An idea that has apparently become intolerable. Whether you like it or not, whatever you believe, we're in this together. We can choose to do our best to help each other, or we can give in to the temptation of the abyss. You can ask whatever question you want and get the answer. At a certain point, you have to ask what the question means about the asker. I trust this finds the right people because it's time. Time for those of us who know the truth, who know there is good in all of us, to be the loudest voices. Stop excusing things. This is a call for those of us who can be the living mirrors to the world around us. Start walking. We spread truth and we do it with love as the utmost priority. We stop allowing subversive language and tactics. We confront those still in the storm with a view of themselves and an outstretched arm. The realization I'm building to, the one built from the Narnia that is floating in the deep ocean at peace, seems nonsensical. Hi. We haven't met before, but we know each other. Met in another life. I am you in a different state. We're in this weird place where we haven't met, yet we're siblings. We're strangers, yet I can almost guarantee we're the same. We want love. We want to show love. We want to be loved. We want what's best for all of us. If you ever feel like you're alone, if you ever feel like the storm of the cosmos has become too much, I'm here. We're still here, and we still care. We are proof that good wins. The next part isn't for all of you. Some of you were only here for the beginning, and that's okay. It still had weight and importance. If that's what you needed, then that was my purpose, to be here in this moment. Leave and be well and loved. If you ever need support, I'm here. This next part will only connect with those of you who have spent as much, if not more, time gazing into the abyss than I. I spent a while screaming into the void, demanding an answer from the thing that had always yielded me truth. I didn't get an answer. I got a warning. I invited them to my table as well. I got the same reaction. This wasn't a teaching moment. Grieve. Feel the loss. Know you were told the price. Pick up your cross and follow. No matter how this makes you feel, we keep the table open. We leave a seat. We pick up that blood-stained microphone and ask if anyone needs to talk. The time is coming, and it's closer than ever. Do not believe anyone who tries to tell you exactly when, but understand that we must now act in fervor. Display the true light of love, and do it despite anything you have done in the past out of anger or malice. We reveal ourselves to each other, and that is the sign. Love wins, no matter what. What do you see?